So today we are going to talk about how to give a general Thai massage, practically how it's done when you try to deliver it to any of the client. Till now we have talked about the energy lines of the feet, okay, and the lower feet, the plantar side of the feet, and on the thigh region. And we have worked on the back, specifically the back area, the stomach and the chest overall. But whenever we go to deliver a session to the client, so whenever we are going to give these kind of sessions, we don't want to sprain ourselves, going down and pressing, because we know if we can't keep our hands straight, we are going to exert a lot of pressure here, and from there it travels to the occipital part of the brain, and it can make you a patient of hypertension. That's one of the reasons that the average lifespan, I would say, the average career span, not the lifespan, but the career span of a massage therapist, as per the American Association of Massage Therapists, says that it is usually 10 to 15 years. Why? If you are not in the practice of giving it in a zero resistance way, what is going to happen is you are going to develop rheumatitis or arthritic kind of conditions within your own body. So that's why it becomes very much important that you work in this effortless way. Second, we have a working example where in Thailand, in the rural areas, the traditional schools, you will see people in their old ages giving perfect massage sessions without any physical ailments or something. Okay, so it gives you a bit of idea that why is it important. Now let's talk about how we will start. So the routine would involve working on the feet part, this region, like as of before. We are going to cover some of the energy lines also. Everything would be done, and how intelligently we are going to use his own entire structure to move around, and we are trying to shift into it so that the entire experience becomes effortless. Okay, so whenever we start a session, ideally we start with the feet again. Okay, usually this is the warm-up. Okay, now whenever you are giving massage session, it is very important to find your own relaxation first, because if you are stressed, most of the time it would be more like a routine, right? But if you want to do it with the breath, for that it is advisable that you sit for a mindful meditation kind of posture in a pose for at least 5 or 10 minutes, so that you first calm your mind, so that you can sync with the breath, and then every experience becomes effortless. So this is the normal feet. Okay, now talking about working on the feet. अकाउंट में थोड़ा मिलेगा, ठीक है, मम्मी के पास है ना, ओके, ठीक है. So I was saying, while working with the feet, we are going to use the same way. So you can flex the leg, and use something like this here. If it's not comfortable, the best way is to take the leg and take it here. So the general routine requires, as you know, I think you are already familiar, so I'm just going to skip the part and do the routine only. Okay, we will press the heel section with a lot of patience, okay. Working on the entire heel, not only on the muscular part, but even the entire ridge. Okay, so we might even press that also. Now moving further, you going to the 5 lines of the feet. Yeah. Okay, and then working on the middle part of the feet. Then we start with the 5 points. 1, warm up and then press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then again warm up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again warm up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then again warm up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then again 4, and then again 3, and then 2, and then 1. Okay. After that, just again a gentle warm up. You might turn the feet and work on this ridge, this line where the texture of the skin actually changes from white to as per the complexion of the client. So you actually massage it gently with the flat part, not the tip, but more at the flat part, because again it is a bony section. If you apply a lot of firmness, it might be painful. So you have to use very diligently, right? Now after this, turn the leg, what you might turn something like this. Okay, rather than going up, just put the leg here. Okay, and then position yourself here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 3 times. In the center, the ST channel, you remember, 40, right? And then going towards the ridge part here. So and then following the 5 lines. So all these things I think you know, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the same part again. And then going to the 5 lines of the foot. Now from here everything keeps changing, right? Now I take the leg, and since I have done it, now it's time to crack. So cracking, so that the effort in cracking should be effortless, what I have done is I have actually glide my leg in between. Okay, as per the size of the client, you might fold the leg, and I'm using my own weight. So actually I'm not pulling it, but rather I'm just holding it and then going back, right? Okay, whenever you hold the thumb, look at the hairs. So the hairs don't need to be stretched, so you might apply pressure here, you might block it. The hair, the stretching of hairs could be avoided, and then just pull. Okay. So this way you crack it, and then after that you take the leg, and then you actually segregate. You put your hand here, segregate with the tibia, shin bone. Okay, you actually bit like segregate, and it's this part is more like the chiropractic adjustment that you see. Okay, you segregate the front part, the lower part, the front, isolate it, and once it's done, then you give a long pull, right? Thigh massage, whenever what you're doing is, whenever you're pulling the leg, what is happening is, for extended period of time, you are not working on the first grade of muscles, but the second grade of, usually all the ligaments and the tendons part specifically, right? All these extended stretches, what it does is, it actually pulls them. Okay, so the amount of extension that you are creating, it is not majorly from the muscles but more on the joints, fascias, all these levels. Okay, so once you have done this, worked on the mobility of the leg and everything, okay, now comes the actual part. Now rather than working on the energy lines, what I do is I take the leg and I fold it. Now check whether it is lifting off the ground. If it's lifted, it means that this abductor, inner muscles, will never be actually released. It will be tightened. To ensure this, what I do is I provide enough support by means of any prop or cushion or pillows, whatever available, so that you can give enough support so that this muscles, the stretch from the extension could be eased and this is relaxed. Now what you do is you normally start with the palm press, right, like here. Now, working here, what you do is you stretch, and then you do a palm press. Now as you're doing it, you are actually gradually moving yourself like this. Why? Because now I'm going to stretch here, do warm up here. So what I do is for me now it is much easier to just move my body and apply the pressure. And the more I take my body weight and give this hand in between the center, jitna, the more far I go, the better pressure would be, with no effort action. You come down here, right? And then after the warm up, what you do is you start working on the individual muscles. So here majorly where I am working is the spleen channel. Okay, I'm taking this with the palm and then pressing and segregating it, like pulling down, like here, right? Now as you reach on the thighs, okay, I'm actually going to work here. So what I do is I apply my palm here, okay, and I put the pressure, okay. One, two, three, 2, and then 1. After this, I give a gentle stretch, like I have done here and somewhat here. For this part, to give a stretch, what I do is I put my hand on the other side of the pelvis, block it here, and this medial part, okay, the mid channel that you have, you apply hand here and try to push. It will give a gentle tug. It should never be too much pressure because these channels are usually very soft kind of, and it might be painful. Some people have very high amount of stiffness, so you have to play around, like when you're putting it here, how much you should actually apply, okay. And also look at the face. If the person is comfortable, you can go for more pressure, right? But if you see the twitch happening on his face, you understand that you have went too far, so you can minimize your amount of pressure, okay. After this, like as I have done in the hand massage, we are going to do the pulse stop. How we do the pulse stop? We try to find the ridge, the thighs and the genitals, how it meets. So you just palpitate it first, okay. If it's a female, what you do is you tell them to put their hand, same side. So you might ask her to put her hand here, okay, on this general area, so that this could be isolated, and then you tell it, I'm going to do the pulse stop. So it is more like, and whenever you are doing it, you are putting her hand here, it is best to start somewhere in between, okay, so that the palpitation could go generally, okay. And while looking at the face, you can gauge whether she is twitching and she is comfortable or not. If she is, you put your hand here, okay, the upper part of the ridge, somewhere here in between, somewhere in the middle part, you put your hand here, right, and you glide it down. And usually there is this strong tendon here in between. If you put your hand here, beach mein, if you put your hand here, put your hand straight and then push. And hold for how long? It might be 10, 20, might be 15, or might be 30 seconds, depending on the person, the client that you are working. What it does is it isolates the flow of blood to the lower extremities. If you feel that you are not comfortable, you might shift and then possibly go much deeper with more, like this, and this will allow that you have good firm pressure. Now how you check it? You can put your hand here and see the leg, whether it has started getting colder or not. After 10 or 15 or 20 seconds, just see it here. In few people, you will feel the pulse. If you are relaxed and the person is relaxed, you should be able to feel the pulse also. Okay? And after holding it for like 30-40 seconds, you just release it and let the hand move away like this. Okay. After the pulse stop, again come again on the thighs. Okay. After the pulse stop, what you do is you take your hand and then again put your thighs in such a way so that the line 1 here and below the line 2, somewhere line 3. So line 1 and line 3, put your hand here and then just extend outside both the end and put your weight here. And always remember to exhale so that you know that you are relaxed. Okay, so now you have worked on the leg. Now from here the real action starts. How? You take this leg, okay, that is folded. If you need more space, you can move this leg here, you get in between. Okay, so from here we are going to use our legs. Why? This section is considered to be one of the toughest muscles, toughest bone we have and the toughest muscles we have, and you stand for 16 hours in a day. So while working here, definitely if someone is getting a Thai massage first time, this person is going to experience lot of relaxation, because for standing for 16-18 hours a day, in Thai philosophy it say that the stress accumulates in your body like a battery, starting from the feet to the calf to the thigh and to the back and then towards your shoulder and the head. So the amount of stress that could be released from here, it's humongous, and people have great experience, a great amount of relaxation for extended period of time. So what you do is you take the leg, yeah, okay. Now you want to position yourself in such a way, okay, the positioning is more important. Why? Because I want to work 90 degree with this muscle, so I have to position in such a way so that if I take this leg, I use my left hand, if it's to hold here, so that I can check the mobility. It should never go too far, otherwise there will be no pressure. So I hold it with this hand and then I use my left leg to push. Okay, or if it's too practical, some people you like to use the right leg. So you can do a normal warm up, get it, with the leg. It is a gentle warm up for your legs, especially the thighs, hamstring, and think about all the quadriceps muscles. Now after the warm up, you block one leg here and then you actually press with the other leg. So use only one side of the leg So for me, this is the one that I use just to block the range of motion, and then I use this part to go deeper. Push. How much deeper are we going? It is the deepest possible that you can go. If you have to go with your hand, you will be tired, but with leg it is much easier. Okay, if my leg becomes too straight very easily, there is no enough pressure. Okay, so either I have to take his leg little bit towards me, or I have to move little bit forward, so that when I press, almost like press, this is this huge pressure that you should feel. Okay, and I hold it for like 5 seconds, then relax, then 5 seconds, and you should look at the face, look his eyes, how does he feels like, right? So 1 2 3 times, and then 2, and then 1. Now closer to the knee, when you will apply pressure, you will be able to push it easily, but as you move further into the thighs, this pressure is all about, you know, segregating these muscles, you know, towards the top. So the other strategy what I use is that I use my metatarsal areas, you know, to lock these muscles, and then roll forward, right, opening it. And when I'm holding it for 10-15 seconds, it is actually going very deep here. Okay, so once you are done with this, again you do the warm up, both the legs. Okay, now after this we are going more deeper. How? We are going to create extension in the thigh muscles, these muscles. How we do it? You have the leg here. Okay, you put these fingers, the dorsal part of the fingers here, to lock and take the leg and lock it here. Now it is locked, and use your 4 fingers on the Achilles tendon to lock it. Now this area is actually locked, it will never move. You take the other leg. Okay, you might go for another round of, again, pressure here. Now this pressure, again, what I'm doing is metatarsal area. I like to, you know, gauge my fingers in between the thigh muscles, and then roll the metatarsals outward. Okay, like this. How much deeper am I going? This creates, almost in Thai massage they say, it's an old saying that by working this deeper, you rebalance the structural disalignment or conditioning of almost 20-25 years. Person becomes younger by 20-25 years according to the anatomy, the balance of the body. Okay, so what you do is, you have blocked with one leg. Okay, so how we do it? This calf is actually, you know, locked by the dorsal feet. Now after this, segregation is like you have blocked this muscle here, you use the other leg by creating extra length. So it is like spacing out. This is locked, spacing out. How we do it? Again, use the hand, it is locked. I use this like an arrow, you know, more like a gua sha board, and I pinch it, I go deep, and then I space, extend, right? I pinch and space, and then I again pinch and then space. Now while you are doing it, always look at the client face. Is it going too much or not? Okay, sometimes you know, this would be enough. For some people, you have to even apply pressure this side also and this side also. So as per the client, actually this spacing is done. Okay, how much deeper are you doing? We are actually pretty deep now, and the person is always relaxed. Okay, after this, again, give gentle warm up, so that all that pulling and everything could be soothed a little bit. Okay, now after this, what I do is I take this leg and I put it over my feet, dorsal part of the feet. Now, whether the client is comfortable or not, no. Why? There is extra pressure here. Okay, what you do is you take your forefingers, take the calf muscles and pull out. The moment you pull out, the pressure is released and you will see the relaxation here. Got it? You move in the front. Okay, now again there is a lot of pressure, so looking at the client. So the another way is actually to use a bigger pillow, so that we can support with more support here, so that this could relax. And once it's done, you have moved up how much, so that you can use your 8 fingers like this, like a scoop, and then you inhale, exhale, pull, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So 3 times. And once you are done with the pulling, so what you've done is now the external line 1, the external line 1 has been pulled towards you, so that line has been taken care of now. And then you just give a gentle warm up. Okay, and then stand, stop. Okay, understood this part?